me those that live beyond the veil of darkness, when nightmares are wholesome empty, those no bounds madness thrives on the suffering of the dead, mocked in the souls, in the souls of the weak. We have taken refuge here among the mortals, in hope of harvesting on the innocent. Tread lightly the search for the voices and stories of the departed, for in the shadows hides the evil that lurks within. As the light dies and slowly becomes night, the realm of the spirits rule the world. In the darkness of your mind hides your own inner demons, brings to life your deepest fears. Do you have what it takes to speak to the dead? Do you accept your own mortality? In the search for life after life, have you ever seen a ghost, spirit, or demon? Have the lights flickered and the roof became as cold as death itself? Maybe it was your own subconscious preparing you for death. Consent some of what's left of your own existence in our search for the answers hidden behind the veil. Set off the blinders and open your mind's eye. Listen to the story. We are they, we are incarnate,
And what is up, everybody? How y'all doing? Happy Monday to you. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Yeah, me, I just spent it resting. I said there might have been a show. I just got to the point. I need to rest. And the heat has been unbearable. It's, 105 right now still? I can't wait for this summer to get over with. It's just, I'm done with it. I'm freaking done. Jack saying, you guys are doing well. Let me go ahead and get this out of the way. Yeah, definitely need that after today. Friday we left. What was it? Thursday. We left off GoPro 2, Night 3, Old Culinary. Stopped 13 minutes in. We're going to try to get through at least an hour of video tonight, unless we spend it analyzing EVP where I got to drop it over into Adobe. Yeah. I had to go get a freaking haircut yesterday. She kind of butchered it, so I'm kind of pissed. Yeah, but whatever. Whatever. You get a bad haircut every now and then. But yeah, let's get to some video. Turn that way up. How's the audio? Where's my audio at? All right, it's at 100. We're good. Now the long, boring, drawn-out notion of just watching a blank screen. Go back a little bit more. Okay. One button. Meant to change screens, not hit applause. There's my one little screw up for the night. Yay, Brent. Go ahead and minimize myself here. Alright, that'll work. Keep me out of view just in case we do get something. Maybe a tad up on that. Alright. So did anybody have anything exciting happen this weekend? Anything at all? Once the sun starts setting, though, I can tell you now the shadows are going to play little hell with my eyes. Alright, definitely a bug or something. That squeaking, repetitive squeaking, yeah, definitely a bug. Dang it. I'm not going to start off early and get some evidence. Here we go. Can you imagine this room, though, before the updated modifications with the fluorescence? Could you imagine this back in the 30s? Probably not the fluorescent tubes. Definitely had to. I wonder if there's any pictures out there of the culinary back in the early days. Be kind of interesting to see that. And I got Jack on the other side of the room being a pest. See if he'll jump up. Maybe not. Think he has a kitten cold. His nose is wet. We've got just heads up for you guys. So we're at figure 20 minutes. This video is hour 20. The next two are hour 20 each, so 2 hours 40 minutes plus another hour 20, so 240, another 4 hours after this. Well, figure a total of 5 hours. 6. Wait. Yeah, over 5 hours to go. Staring at this one spot of room. Definitely going to be fun. At least we know if we get no evidence, we ain't got to worry about it this year. Well, as I said, I'm going to focus on a lot this year. What's up, Windsor? How you doing, bud? I'm going to focus on hard investigating this year. I'm all right, Windsor. Kind of overheated from the day again. Yeah, the warehouse is nice and cool, but the drive home and like it's 105 right now, which isn't bad, but it's just like I'm. The heat's got to blow ass. It does. It's a dry heat. You know what? So is an oven baking cookies. Neither oven you can escape. That's why I cannot wait to get up to Carson for 5 days. Or 4.5. Cook an egg on the sidewalk? Yeah. And you could fry bacon on the deck of a tow truck. Found that out the freaking hard way. Just joking around. You can bake. You can bake cookies in a car. They did it on the news. They actually determined you put cookie dough on the tray, set it on the dash, come back in an hour, you have edible baked cookies. It only takes, I think they said 4 or 5 minutes once you turn off your AC in Vegas for that heat to be deadly. You've seen someone cook cookies in a mailbox. That's impressive. I used to cook dinner on the engine block of the tow truck. We were real busy. If we were stuck in the yard and we couldn't leave, chop up some potatoes, some meat, put it in some aluminum foil with some seasoning in it, set it on the engine block with the truck running. About an hour, you got dinner. Little hint on the 10W30. Well, if you do it right, no. That's an old trucker's trick, though. Talk to the old timers, the guys that are like 70 and 80. They'll tell you, yeah, we used to do the same. That's where it started. Was cooking dinner on the engine block. That was wind, probably. Yeah, you can't do it now. That's accurate. Now they make a freaking like a stove top you can plug into the cigarette lighter. Like uh, Sunday morning, I'd gotten up early and I tried, grouping the GoPro videos together from Dead's GoPro, putting them into one of the programs I have, and just to connect two of the sections of GoPro was like 2.5 freaking hours. I gotta find a better way to put GoPro clips together without paying for it through Adobe. Oh, excuse me. Not a lot of free programs for that won't put watermarks in. Got a heated lunch plate that plugs into 12 volt, makes good food. I get 7 almost burn your mouth on food. Yeah. Good news is it's going to be a short week at work. Monday, well, today, tomorrow, Wednesday, the company's buying us lunch for the 4th of July. We're off Thursday. Might have to go in Friday. I was talking to the boss. He goes, Brent, we're slow. Just take Friday off. So I put it in for it on the vacation. So wait to see if he approves it last minute so I could just have a 4-day weekend. If I get a 4-day weekend, I'm doing a Friday show early. I'm going to do, see if we can knock some more shit out. It's slow enough we can. One of our rigging guy is going out of town Wednesday. A couple lighting guys took off. One of our video guys took off. I can. Problem is, if something pops up with everybody gone, it's gonna really fuck me up. Got a couple more certifications done today. I'm officially up to I think 6th place overall in the company with certifications out of 2,000. So we'll see what happens at the end of this year. Got the end of August, a guy coming out to finish. I've got, I think, 37 or 38 certifications. It's in the mid 30s. I know that for a fact. I don't know an exact number. I haven't looked. End of August, our safety guy comes out from Nashville. I get my CPR and first aid certs, so there's 2 more. I'm going to talk to him about scene investigation, so we can have somebody who can actually do the. If something happens, you don't have to wait for a specialist. We could do it in the warehouse. I'm going to talk to him about that one. Yeah. I said I'm not going to stop until I'm in the top 3. And at the rate things are going, I should be there by the end of the year. I won't beat number 1. He has 70. I don't want to be number 1 because people will be trying to bump you off. And mostly, I used to have close to 10 certs, at least various construction things, but do I have them close? No, I don't. Yes, I do. Audio, network troubleshooting, occupational health, touring, active shooter, electrical distribution, R2, which is our 3 different R2 certifications, which is our inventory system, load handling, radio frequencies, rigging training, truck loading, audio, video, and lighting controls, lighting essentials, PC essentials, network essentials. I'll have to get a full list. Yeah, active shooter. It's like a 2 or 3 hour course we have to take. You know, fight, flight, or hide. Uh, hide, flight, or hide. Hide, flight, hide, flight, or hide, flight, or fight. And it's like, guys, you don't realize me. Somebody comes in there. There's enough hiding places you could sabotage them. It's like you wouldn't run out the door. No, we get somebody active in the building. I'm taking them out. I said, there's enough stealth positions in this warehouse. They're not going to make it. It's like you have enough military friends, and you've done enough paintball and airsoft and shit like that. You know where to post up. And I told them, I'm like, there's 3 positions in this warehouse. They'll never see me. They'll walk right by me, and I'll be standing right in front of them. And I point out the blind spots, and they're like, yeah. It's like, you come up behind them, get that pocket knife, and just night night. It's just like, or get them right in the base of the neck. Come on, they're like, you do realize it's basically hide or flight. It's not fight. The company doesn't want you fighting for potential lawsuits, which I get. And I basically told one of the guys, one of the kids in the warehouse, I call him a kid, he's 21, 22. There's a difference in our generation. Your generation doesn't want to do this. My generation, we're angry and we're pissed off. We're ready to go. We're waiting for the drop of that glove. It's gonna go down. It's not gonna be pretty either. My generation, I was born in '76. I'm getting to the point where it's like, you get that old man energy. And I don't want to say that because I'm 48. Once I get to 55, I'll say old man energy. But I still got that I'm going to fuck you up mentality. If you cross me, I'm going to fuck you up. I ain't going to go looking for trouble. I'm too old for that shit. I don't go looking for bullshit. I don't do it. I used to when I'm 26 to 32, 33. It's like, I'll wait for the trouble to come to me. Then I'll handle it. But again, these young kids nowadays, early 20s, they just have no idea. Everybody wants to call the police and, oh my God, he hit me. Why'd you hit him? He hit me first. He pushed me. He assaulted me first, so I defended myself. But yeah, but he hit me. It's like, you started it, you got an ass kicking, and you call the cops. Excuse me, officer. I'd like to file charges for a false police report, please. Not only does he get an ass kicking, he gets to go to jail too. So I'm pressing charges for assault. Sorry, bud. I warned you. Fuck around and find. My generation is the fuck around and find out generation. Now, my dad's generation is just the find out generation. Back to his dad's generation is the find out generation. Those are the ones who went to war and fought, and the enemy found out. It's not fuck around and find out. It's just you found out. And anybody watching this later on YouTube, please comment. You know, generations. 70s into the early 80s is the original fuck around find out generation. Before that, just find out. Just. And I actually told some of the younger guys at work that I'm like, I am the FAFO generation. Just go and watch videos of people trying it with the older guys. Not a bright idea. Oh. And the downside of this is we can't exactly speed through video. There might be an EVP in here we're going to miss. But if we don't get any markers, we don't have to load it into Adobe. Speaking of that, all right, there's that. I almost want to bring Stream Raiders into the stream. Seems to be a lot of people are using it though. Hi-ho, hi-ho. It does actually, it makes you wonder in this room, back when it was actively used, how many people were murdered in this room? I wonder if there's actually records kept, which I know there would be. And I know it'd be impossible to get access to prison records.
Come and play with us. Forever and ever and ever.
Thank you.
Hey, Chief with the old man rate of 33. Wow, thank you. Welcome everybody to Incarnate Paranormal. Kind of a lax night analyzing video. For those of you here before, Nevada State Prison. This is GoPro from night 3. This is currently watching from the original, which would have been the second culinary or cafeteria. First one was basically in a shack in the center of the prison yard. This is actually in the building, obviously. But yeah, just set a GoPro up, hit record, and let it go. Hopefully you catch an EVP or an apparition. What's up, demons? How you doing, bud? And Chief, how you doing tonight? Always appreciate the raids. You got a lot of good people that follow you. Good to hear, man. Good to hear. Had a lot of fun last time on the last raid. Had a lot of people asking questions. Kind of made it go a little bit more smooth. since you did have a raid, I do have a little bit left. It's kind of not wanting to do this tonight, but since you were kind enough to raid, I'm kind enough to do a little bit of Jack. And there's the rest of the bottle. Without a chaser. Michigan Ducky, you know this location? Joker. It's not showing everybody in chat. Didn't even see what he said. Michigan Ducky, how do you know this location? You used to visit this place when you lived out there. Okay. Now everybody pops up. What's up, Vexus? In Carson. Exactly. Nevada State Prison. Then you know this is basically the second floor, the original building, to where you got the culinary on one side and the mattress factory on the other. Got very lucky. They don't let people in here to investigate. I don't know if I brought this up the last time Chief did a raid. There's a couple broken windows up there, so you got a lot of moisture that gets in, so you have a lot of risk of mold. You have a lot of rats and a lot of birds that get in there and die. So you've got that funk from dead rats and pigeons that get into this room. So it's a very musty place to investigate. I think over 3 nights, we only spent like 25-30 minutes in there total. Once 5 minutes in there, you're breathing that crap. You're already almost coughing. So safety reasons, this year I'm opting not to go in there. Buddy had access to it from his uncle. Then Ducky, you've probably seen almost every square inch of this prison. I said there's only one area that I never had access to, and I can't. And that's the gymnasium, because there's still state documents that are stored there. Pretty much anywhere else, video of the chain man. Are we talking up on the 3rd floor? Are we talking in women's by execution? Which area are we talking about? They might be calling him something else nowadays. 3rd floor, that's we call him the creeper. It's where the prisoner was, he was strung up and set on fire. We call him the creeper because his shadow will actually follow you, go up along the bars, creep along the bars, and kind of fade away. It's probably the same one we're talking about. Very sad story. He survived the fire, being hung and set on fire, and he died at the hospital later. But yeah, because of that much anger, his spirit's still there. Following you at night, and you get a very slight sound of, okay, yes. First year I was there, I actually do have him on camera. I have a full spectrum camera with IR strobes, and we saw the shadow for about 2 seconds go like this and just drop off. I mean, it's going to take me a while to find it. It's buried in my files. Let me see if I could find it. Won't be tonight. I'll find it. It's gonna take some time because a lot of those videos are long, and I don't remember where it's at, but I do have him, and it's probably the only time I've caught a full body apparition on camera there. Oh, two other times. I caught one up in Building 9. Was it 9, 10, 11? Yeah, Building 9. And I caught one, the main hallway that goes between Women's and Death Row. So I've caught 3 apparitions in there. The Screaming Woman, second floor by the bath. No, I did not. Screaming floor, second floor by the bathroom. Second floor by the bathroom. Why does that sound like that'd be over near the infirmary? But we've had female voices from women's cells. We have caught them here on this show. We've gotten children too. We got a child's voice in execution 2 years ago. And that goes back to the Warm Springs Hotel before it was Nevada State Prison when it burned down. So yeah, I'm going back in September for my 5th investigation. And this year I'm actually doing a hardcore investigation. I'm going to not provoke, but I'm gonna get a little aggressive with the spirits this year. I usually just walk around 15-20 minutes in the area and leave. This year I'm spending at least an hour in every location that I can, and I'm gonna film it with me on camera instead of me just looking at the camera looking out. Yeah, Warm Springs Hotel. They do know there was a child that died. Don't know if it was a boy or a girl. We think it's a boy. We have his name too. It's actually one of the names of the convicted. And I forget which one it is. But we're actually only on 124 EVPs as opposed to the previous 3 years where by this time we were well over 200. You want the chain man to play with stuff here, bring a chain and a lighter. I can kind of one-up that Ducky. Neil Pitney's cell up in Building 12. The man who murdered his mother, OD'd on heroin in his cell. We actually took a syringe up into his cell without the needle, of course. We took the syringe, the plunger, left it with a Mother's Day card in his cell, and we got some evidence out of that one. And everybody else, welcome in. If you have any questions concerning the paranormal, please do not hesitate to ask. I can pause the video.
We are the ones who dwell within.
Thank you for the follow, Ducky. Yeah, and if you have any questions about the paranormal, please don't hesitate to ask. Any questions about Nevada State Prison, which we're currently analyzing, don't hesitate to ask. I will stop the video and do whatever I can to answer your questions. I also have, actually, I'm going to step away for a second. Thank you. Muted. Got to do this. I'm going to turn off that. I have been finding stuff on eBay, and this goes for Nevada State Prison. I'm going to bring them up one at a time. Let you guys see them. These are actual mugshot cards from the prison that I have been collecting for about 2 years now when I can find them. So yeah, guys, these are the actual prisoners. Depending on their time served, I can't say all of them, but they have their name and their crimes on the back. So you get an idea of the faces that resided behind these walls. Now there's a guy on eBay. I messaged him. He bought a storage unit, and it had a full album of the convicted in the storage unit. Now, when I go back to Nevada State Prison this year, I'm going to be donating these to the prison. Why? Because that's where they belong. I give these back to the prison. Future generations are going to be able to see these faces. They're not going to be just on my wall. The docents of the prison are going to put up like a sign that I donated these. There's only a few more. Then we'll get back to the video. Tell me this guy does not look like a little bit of a tool. Look at the hat on that guy. He's got like a bottle cap hat. Freaking dork. And there's just two more. And this was the most expensive one. Just because there wasn't a lot of them, there were women at Nevada State Prison. You were talking about the woman on the second floor by the bathroom? Here's one of the women from NSP there, Ducky. Knew you'd get a kick out of this. I don't know why that keeps popping up. Yeah, Ducky, that one was, I think that one was like $75. Just because how the rarity of it. I know a lot, these belong in a museum. I know I have a website that has the majority of the prisoners from like the 30s and 40s. And it shows all the mugshots, their names, their crimes, everything. It's from the San Francisco Historical Archives. San Francisco Historical Archives. Yeah, that's it. How they came across it, I don't know. But these There's a guy on eBay selling them, and he puts up 4 at a time. Every time their body puts up 4 more. I wish I had a little bit more money to buy them so I could donate back to the prison. Can you imagine donating at least 100 of those back to the prison? They can hang them up, and if they have the historical archives and find out what cells they were in. They could literally put these in acrylic on the walls of the prison so people could see who stayed in what cell. Yeah, Ducky, just eBay Nevada State Prison and scroll through, and there's 4 of them up there right now, and I think they're $30 or something for the 4 of them. I even emailed the guy. I'm like, dude, you want to sell the album? He's like, I can't. I got to put them up in 4s. I make more money that way. It's like, well, I am a friend of the docents who take care of Nevada State Prison. I'd like to be able to purchase this and donate it to the prison. He's like, I can't do it. It's like, oh. Kind of broke my heart a little bit that I could make him an offer. You know, do $400 or $500. The docents who take care of the prison right now, Ducky, Susan, Tammy, Michelle, and Chris. Steve, yeah, was it? Yes, Steve. He used to be a guard there. I gotta check Discord for Tristan. That's your buddy's uncle? Yeah. Give me a second. Tristan, nice scope. Give me a second, guys. Bear with me, please. See if I can find a picture of him. Huh. If I remember, Steve's not a big paranormal guy. He's not a full-on believer. Uh, I wish I could get a picture of him for you guys, or get a picture for you, Duckies. Make sure that's him. Uh, Ducky. Is that him? Big glare. Not much I can do about that. Shit. I'll see if I can get a better picture of him. Sorry about that. Look up Spirit of Nevada, Nevada State Prison. Yeah, long white goatee. Long white goatee. Not heavy, but I think we're talking about the same guy. Not a big paranormal guy. Definitely not paranormal. Used to be a prison guard. Yeah, that's him. Talk about the same guy. Amazing guy. Very helpful to us. Always been there. Okay, we got something here. Hold on. Door opening in the background somewhere. Nothing. My first was it my first year in Nevada State Prison. Was it first or second? Uh, Steve was coming up with one of our team members. We were coming down from execution. You know, and since you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. You come down from 2 onto 1, and you got that metal partition right there before you go around to the cell block to go back down the hallway. Uh, I heard him coming in. So I hid right behind that partition. And when you come around the corner there, before you pass that partition, it's a blind spot. Him and our teammate took a step past that partition. I was like, ah! And I jumped out. I was like I was a ghost and I was going to attack his ass. And he dropped back down into this boxing position. He's like, Jesus Christ, Brent, I was going to knock you out. It was like our teammate Kim, she started laughing her ass off. And Steve was just like, damn it, Brent. It was like, oh my God. I was like, I forget, it's like, I was like, dude, you're a prison guard and I just scared you in a prison. I said, that couldn't have ended well for me. He goes, you're lucky I saw you. He's like, right after you jumped out and did that, it scared me, but I saw you that split second after. He goes, that was good. I gave him a big hug. It's like, dude, I'm sorry. I had to do it. I had to scare you. And if I go in with a new team that joins us, because I hold an open investigation. Anybody who wants to go, who investigates, all you got to do is pay for your hotel, your car and all that, and your investigation, and you can come in with my team. I always invite teams in. I work with everybody I can. And I tell people it's like $125 a night per person, plus your airfare and hotel and food and shit. Even if you come out for one night. But if you come out for that one night, I'm going to scare you. I'm going to find a way to scare you. I did it up in Building 13 with one of the teams. I managed to get up there unheard, snuck in and slammed one of the doors. I thought they were going to come unglued because they thought they got evidence. Like, oh my God, you guys hear that? Can you do it again? And I just started laughing, and they're like, God damn it, Brent. It's like, I warned you. I told you I was going to get you. But yeah, it's as much as I want to investigate it because that's where most of the murders happened. You got to respect the fact you can't get into the gym. Even the docents can't go into the gym. It's like there's so many state records kept in there. They're like, we can't go in. We don't even have a key for it. I offered to make a huge donation if they would strap me into the execution table. And they're like, Brent, we can't do it. It's a museum piece. And at that point, I respect it. I'm not going to push the boundaries. I'm not going to push the rules. It's like, I respect the fact it's a museum piece, and I'm not going to push it. Even if I just get into the chamber, I'll bring a chair in and sit down. The chapel, it's not haunted. Building 6, 7, 8, and 10, not haunted. 9, 11, 12 are haunted. 13, Gen Pop building, really not haunted. It's hit and miss. Like this year is a big miss. We're not getting a lot of evidence. You know, even watching the screen for any kind of apparition. This last year was a letdown. So I have to deal with paraflex effect. Yeah. $12? You got Doc and you got Pitney. You got A block and D block. C and B, no activity whatsoever. A and D, oh boy, you better hang on to your asses. We've gotten Doc on recorder many times. We've got Pitney on recorder many times. And those that don't know who we're talking, when I say I don't have a picture of Doc, but I have a picture of Neil Pitney. This is Neil Pitney. This piece of garbage. And let me get this out of the way. For those of us who are over 40, he looks like a PE teacher. He looks like the PE teacher we had in grade school. Does he not? This piece of garbage, like I said, murdered his mother. No, he murdered his mother. Decapitated her, and did dirty things to her body for about a year. Mind you, he was a heroin addict, so I'm sure he wasn't fully aware of what he did. Once he was tried and convicted, all the guards and prisoners knew what he was about. He overdosed on heroin in his cell, and they found him dead on the floor. And I've talked about this on many shows. One, how to get the heroin in, especially into a max cell block. Okay, fair enough. I don't think he overdosed. I think he was helped. Now, I asked Steve one year. He was Epsteined. I don't remember if it was Steve if I asked, or Chris, one of the former guards there. Was he helped? And they're like, we don't know. It's one of those unsolved things. Like Building 6. I've talked about Building 6, which is, hold on. I got to bring up the picture. This is, so you guys know what I'm talking about. Building 6 is the first building right here. The first one is Building 6. Building 6 was kind of a less secure cell block. They didn't have regular cell doors. They had regular doors like you have in your house. But they were metal. They just didn't have the security they did in the rest of the rest of the cell blocks. There are so many unconfirmed murders in that cell block. Was it lack of guards? You know, lack of security from the guards, or was it just lack of attention? So they can't confirm or deny how many murders happened in that building. They have a couple like pieces of paper taped up to where somebody was stabbed on this spot and they died. The rest of them, they just don't know. So I want to know the history of this room. You know, culinary and mattress factory stuck together. How many people were murdered in here that weren't reported or just never investigated? It really makes you think, what really goes on inside these prisons that we'll never know about because it was never written down? One reason why I love investigating this prison. What happened? Oh, who murdered you? Oh, really? What over? This, do I have it? Do I have this handy? I know I've got it somewhere. Bear with me a second. You guys will get a kick out of this. And this took, if I can find it. Let me just scroll through this real quick. I'm not going to slow down. These are all the deaths at Nevada State Prison. Leonard T. Rangel, unknown prisoner number, male, 26 years old. Date of death, March 6, 1978. Abscess brain tumor. Carl Barkley, 22 years old. June 1st, 1950, rheumatic heart condition. Heart attack. Scroll up. Benny Ray Newland, 42, cause of death, suicide, hanging. Robert Michael Syrocton, 67, cause of death, unspecified. Michael J. Gallagher, 33, hanging. Leon Nogue, hanging. Johnny Johnson, Willard Taylor, cause of death, hanging by another prisoner. Willard Cheney, natural causes. Leonard Lloyd Paulette, suicide, hanging. What's up, Moose? So there are so many deaths inside the prison. It's insanity. Missing his male parts. It's probably in that list. I've got a couple others in here too, somewhere. Wonder if I could find them real quick while I'm talking. Huh. As I was talking about the the San Francisco archives. Here's all the prisoners from, I can't even remember the year. Started with an R. I'd literally have to go back through the archives and see if I could find it. So you see, there's so many faces, so many stories. It's Joseph Wright, Neil Pitney, more info. This is Ralph Woods. 1976, stabbed to death by other prisoners. Prison for murder, not yet confirmed. Hanging by another prisoner. This one, Brian Scott Pickworth, is actually from Building 11. Brent Snows, possibly Building 11. This, from what I understand, on this one, Brian Scott Pickworth was a part of the Aryan Nation. He was rumored that he was going to rat somebody out, and they hung him in the cell block. So yeah, this he was hung for being a rat. Cell block 9. There's actually signs in cell block 9 when you walk in of where this man was stabbed. So it shows you have to do a lot of research to be able to investigate Nevada State Prison. I've got the information on most of the people that were executed up to a certain extent. What they did, who they murdered, their trial, and yeah, a lot of it's disturbing. The one that still bothers me the most is this kid right here. Floyd Burton Loveless. This is a fucked up story. Nevada executed him at 17 years old. He was put in prison at 14. 14 or 15. Actually, I take that back. He was 16 when they convicted him. And they put him in the gas chamber at 17 years old. There's a book out there called The Boy Nevada Killed. He killed a highway patrolman. He was in a state reformatory back somewhere in the Midwest. I think it was like Ohio or somewhere in that area. Him and another kid decided to break out and run. They were in somewhere in Nevada, northwestern and western Nevada somewhere. Trooper had pulled him over because his partner had went and did something else. The trooper knew the car was stolen. There was a skirmish for a gun. Floyd pulled the trigger, shot the trooper in the neck, and he died later. And they caught Floyd here a little bit later. And they tried him for murder of the trooper. But being he was so young at the time of his crime, Nevada didn't care. They sent him to the gas chamber. Look up. Hold on. I know, real professional here, the typing. Look up that book. Get it if you can. I'm not going to say I want to give my viewers a homework assignment, but if you're interested in crime and punishment at all, I want you to get that book. It's on Amazon. It's fairly cheap. I want you to read it. And I want you to come back to this channel and tell me or not whether you think they should have executed him. Because after reading the book, I don't think they should have. Not the fact he was so young, the extenuating circumstances in the case. I'm not going to give any of it away. But it will make you feel for him. Yes, he's a convicted murderer. Don't get me wrong. But to read that book, you're like, Nevada done fucked up. Nevada royally messed up on that one. Some of the others, yeah, no, they deserve what they got. One second here. 1 second, guys. Bear with me. Sorry about that. Ducky right now, because my team is so washy and flaky. I stayed in Nevada for now. There's some areas I want to go to. I'll go by myself. I love investigating by myself. A lot of these areas, they tell you don't do it by yourself. I know my abilities. I know I can investigate alone. I'm a one-man team. Pretty much like I said, my team, they don't respond, so I don't invite. But I tried to stay in Nevada for now until get some more reputable people, or more reliable people, should I say. This year will be my 5th investigation of the prison. Do I want to do a 6th? And there's the end of that section of the video. And that's going to probably close the show here in a minute anyway. I want to go investigate Waverly. Waverly Hills is up there. Would I do Waverly alone? Yeah, if it's not too expensive. There's an old prison in Montana. Missouri State. Yeah, I want to investigate that. I want to get out to Brushy. There's a few that I want to investigate some more prisons. But the fact is, you need a team. Otherwise, it's expensive for one person. Otherwise, yeah, I'd travel and I'd do 3-day weekends at work. You know, travel one day, investigate, travel the next day. See Sol Choy Point Lighthouse in northern Michigan. Sol Choy Point. I don't even want to butcher that name. There's I want to do St. Augustine Lighthouse in St. Augustine, Florida, but they want like $3,000 a night for the simple fact it was on Ghost Adventures. I've talked about that before on this show. A lot of these locations, just because a TV show has been in there, they put the choke point on. You want to come in here? You got to pay because Zach Bagans was in here. It's like, you know what? I'll pass. Well, we got other people lined up. Good for them. When you really want to know what goes on in here, give me a call. I'm not saying ghost hunters ruined a lot of places. Yeah, they did. And they're not allowed in a lot of places anymore. They can't go back to them. I've talked about that a lot on this show. Let me just, so we can have background noise here. Video's finished anyway. They had to really dig into their pockets to get back into a couple places out here. They're not allowed back in Nevada State Prison at all. I know that for a fact. They can go back on one condition if I'm there. The docents have already said they're not coming back. If you can bring them back, we'll let it. But they got to pay for it. Let's go out and we'll go visit. Not now because of them. You see what I mean? It's disgusting that people want to rob reputable paranormal teams because of a TV show. I could get a haunted location. If I had the money, I'd buy a haunted location that was known, and I'd rent it out to teams at a cheap rate. Instead of charging $3,000 for 2 nights for a minimum or a maximum of 10 people, I'd do it $125 a night for, 7 or 8 people, which is what Nevada State Prison does. $125 a night. It's not out of the realm of possibility for that price. Jeepers Creepers were the scene where a guy was dragging a white sheep behind a schoolhouse. Yes, that one. That one? Okay. Okay, I didn't know that was a school. Bronson, Michigan. Okay. Might have to look into that. Next year, if I can afford it, I do want to travel some more. I always make the deal to people. If I go to a location, if I want to go to a location, if you can get me in, you come along for the investigation. That's always been a rule for me. And I've told people this. You get me into the location, I want you at the investigation. They're like, well, what if I don't want to go? It's like, you're getting me in. I would like you there because you opened the doors for me. It's a thank you for, doing that for me. And if I can get you into a location in Nevada, I'll try. Problem is, nobody wants to allow anybody to investigate anymore. They either want too much money or they're afraid you're going to damage or steal something. And I've been told that flat out. I've been trying to work on getting a decent deal on an insurance policy for Incarnate Paranormal. Carry at least $1 million policy. Dennis, deputy, killed his wife Martha, deputy, and she haunts a school. Granted, has other stuff going on. Down by cold water. Okay, not sure what that is. But yeah, it's if you don't have an insurance policy, people don't want to let you in. That's what when I was with a different paranormal team, we did have the insurance policy, and they're like, "Come on in. What are you going to charge us? Like, what do you think is fair?" Okay, how about 80 per person? They're like, what? You'd pay that much? It's like, has anybody ever investigated this building? No, nobody's ever asked. Okay, there's 10 people here now. That's $800 for the night. That's money to help put into restoring this building. I might have to look into it there, guys. Like I said, it won't be this year for sure. Next year, I don't know. It all depends on how teams are acting next year. I find it simpler if I just do it by myself. It's just that simple. People are too flaky in the paranormal. I can't afford it. Oh no, I got to cancel at the last minute. That's my biggest problem now. People wait till the last minute to cancel. I can't fill the spot now. So either I got to come out of pocket or cancel the investigation. Fortunately, I know enough. I'm friends with enough people, and some locations are like, "Don't worry about it, Brent. Just get here. Some money's better than nothing." And I'm grateful for that. Anyways, guys, I've been rambling on while I've been watching still camera footage of Nevada State Prison, which we didn't get any evidence, no audio, no video evidence. We will be back tomorrow night to continue part 2 of 4 on this video, static camera. Ducky, I thank you so much for jumping in on this. Yeah, you'd be more than welcome to join, Ducky. I'd invite you in a heartbeat. I'll be back tomorrow night, roughly the same time. We're going to continue this. Ducky, I hope you're back tomorrow night. I'd love to continue this. Moose, Windsor, Tristan, anybody else lurking there in the shadows. If you enjoyed it, please hit that follow button. We try to do this Monday through Friday, 6:30 to around 8-ish. If it starts going good, we keep the show going. Problem is, it's so hot out here in Vegas that I'm usually drained by the end of the day, and doing a show anything over an hour and a half is brutal for me. I'm so drawn out from the day. But here we are trying. You guys have been a blessing tonight. You really have. And it's been a lot of fun. But and Demons, if you're still here, and Chief, I knew I forgot 2 people. You guys are a blessing to the channel as well. And Edgar, sorry man, you arrived just as we're ending the show. I had a blast tonight, guys. Thank you again. Good night. God bless. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks again.